Good morning, children. Let's start today's lesson. Yesterday, we have seen that finally, even after the strong resistance by the servants, even after their own feeling towards the enemy, feeling disgust and hatred towards the man, and this man shouldn't be alive, that was their opinion. But even after all this, they follow their natural instinct, and finally, Dr. Sadow had done the surgery because if the surgery had not been done, the man could have been died. The very successfully he had saved the man and he had made the surgery. Even after he realized that he shouldn't save the man, but as a doctor, as a human being, he had saved impulsively this enemy who could turn very dangerous to them and their country. But still, he was trained to save the life of human being as a doctor. So out of this impulse, so he hadn't thought of being charged as a traitor. He thought he knew that he could be punished, he could be sentenced because he had saved the life of enemy and he has given the shelter. He was helping the enemy. So instead of handing over this man to the police, he saved the life. But it doesn't stop here only. So he continued his kind efforts even after surgery also. As a doctor, he needs to look after the patient even after surgery to get the complete recovery after surgery. So a careful nursing was required to this white man to get the full strength to recover from these surgeries, the weakness that he had developed or the injury that he had. So for that, very careful nursing was required, and that is given by Dr. Sadow himself. So he was very much careful while checking the day-to-day recovery of this man. So regularly he used to check up his pulse, his temperature, and whatever that doctor required to check. So the regularly he has done it, and he had checked his wound also, the stitches that he had made after the surgery. So very careful nursing. So a complete and devoted and committed doctor he was. So um, at one side he was enemy, the white man was enemy for him, and another side the white man was also a patient, a man whom he had saved, who upon whom he had made the surgery. uh, he was. So not only just the matter of checking up the wound and the pulse, so he had been given the regularly and timely medicine and food so that he would recover soon. This also, this man also requires the rest after the surgery. Any patient requires this rest. So this man was given the complete rest and no strain would be there. They had taken the care that even he was not allowed to get up from the bed. Even he was not allowed to speak. Once Dr. Sadow warned him when he was trying to speak something that do not speak, he says, okay, do not tell even your name before he asked, he said, and he warned him, he rebuked him when he was trying to get up when he saw the doctor. So he's not allowed to get up. So all kind of strains are, that could be dangerous and risky for the health of this white man. He had taken care of and he had nursed accordingly. Doctor had nursed accordingly. But still, while doing all these things, he was his mind was very complex. He had gone through the complex feelings. He was not able to understand that why he was able to, why he was doing this. Though while doing this, he was very much feeling irritable with this man, and he kept himself detached so that he could not develop love towards him. He could not develop attachment towards him. So that is why he did not even want to listen his name. So the the more you would come to know about the person, the more attachment you would develop, and that is exactly Dr. Sadow doesn't want to happen. That is why he asked him not to tell even the name. And once this white man was thanking him for saving his life, he has also told directly that do not thank uh, him so early, because after that he was thinking of handing over this man to the police. So the a mixed kind of feeling, all the care, all the sympathy, all the kindness, all the nursing that is required, that at one side he was giving to the white man, and another side he was feeling disgusting, irritable, hatred towards what he himself was doing and saving this man. And he was not able to understand that why this happens to him. And still, even at this stage also, now slowly, gradually, this man is recovering from the health, getting strength. So at this time also, he was not he able to decide, he has not decided what to do with this man after the complete recovery, when he will regain his complete strength, complete health. So what to do with that? So still, Dr. Sadow was confused. Dr. Sadow was in dilemma. He was in a dual mind. He was not able to hand over this man to the police. So then let us see how the servants reacted on these things. Earlier, the servants were resistance, that they had already told that this man should not be saved. Dr. Sadow should not save him. Let him, die. So, because nature itself wants to kill this man, because he was shot by the gun and caught by the sea rocks, torn by the sea rocks. So, if Dr. Sadow will save him, the nature will take revenge on such kind of superstitious things was there. Yumi has denied to wash that white man. Let us see, and what else Dr. Servants do to oppose it. So they become more watchful. Now the surgery is done, operation is done successfully. So will Dr. Sadow hand over this man to the police? So they were very careful to watch this. They were very careful to observe this. But even after surgery, it takes a long time, weeks after weeks, it takes months to recover this man completely. Meanwhile, these servants were carefully watching and observing, and more watchful and vigilant about that. And they were thinking that why Dr. Sadow was not handing over this man to the police after even surgery. So they become more watchful, they become more observant, and while watching and observing this, they clearly opposed whatever Dr. Sadow and Hannah was doing towards the white man. Even they tried to convince Dr. Sadow and Hannah so that they should hand over this man to the police and they should not save this man. How they tried to say convince Dr. Sadow? Just before the Hannah, they were speaking on purpose that she should listen that Dr. Sadow need to hand over this man. While pinching the bird, Gardner was saying that our master's son, Dr. Sadow, master, this Gardner was serving in the family of Dr. Sadow right from the time of Dr. Sadow's father. So our master's son, Dr. Sadow, is saying that he knew that what he need to do. He need to do means he has pinched the bud from the plant. So means that is suggestive that he need to let the man die. But nothing happens, and even so they were speaking like this so that they were trying to convince him, but nothing worked. Even they warned Dr. Sadow and Hannah that very soon they will leave the work if the man will be there. If the man will be staying in that house, they will not stay, they will leave the work. That is the warning that they had given to Dr. Sadow and Hannah. But that also didn't work on Dr. Sadow and Hannah. And finally, these servants had to leave their work, leave the house of Dr. Sadow with heavy heart. Though they were feeling very bad, they were so they were so loyal and sincere and honest towards their master, Dr. Sadow and Hannah, and they have the love and affection towards them. But still, because of this white man, they had to leave this house. So, but with heavy heart they left. While leaving the house, they are packaged all their baggage, all their belongings they have taken, and they were leaving. And before going, when they met Hannah, they literally cried, all of them. Yumi cried a lot because of the children, because she had got a very good attachment with the children. Even she said that if the children misses Smith, they were crying, and Hannah was not able to look after the children. So he asked that she should call her back. So she would come. She knows the house. So this is what Yumi was also doing. So with crying and heavy heart, they left the house of Dr. Sadao, and this was stressed Hannah very much. She grew very anxious, worried, and frightened. Now the servants are going, and whether they will report to the police or so that fear Hannah was having. Even so, in between, when Hannah was very stressful and frightened when the servants were opposing or telling something, saying something against them uh, in front of her. So she became more stressed. By looking that stress, when Dr. Sadow and Hannah discussed about it, so that why they clearly could not see what servants could see. So when they will get rid of this white man, when they were discussing that, Dr. Sadow realized that uh, Hannah is more stressful, and in that condition, then he decided to write a letter uh, and report it to the police. But his letter stayed incomplete. He could not complete the letter, and somehow, what stopped him, God knows. He could not understand what stopped him, but he did not complete the letter, and that incomplete letter he kept in the secret drawer, and he could not complete and post it and report it. So this was a dilemma of Dr. Sadow, that whether it is right that to hand over this man to the police. It's not just matter of the handovering this man to the police. If he hand over this man to the police, and definitely the police is going to kill him. And this is exactly Sadow could not tolerate, that a man should be killed. Killing a man, bleeding, or it was he who would become responsible for somebody's death, or he would become responsible that somebody would be killed. So that idea cannot be tolerated by the persons, the very much a human person like Dr. Sadow, kind person like Sadow and Hannah. And that was the reason actual, that he could not think of handing over this man to the police. So let us see that now, when the day that servant left, the same day, the second very important thing happened, that a messenger in official uniform had come to the Dr. Sadaw's house. And when Hannah saw this man in official uniform, she was such a terrified by by the sight of the messenger. She thought that the servants have reported to the police, and this man, the man in the official uniform, had come to arrest Dr. Sadow. So she was terrified. She was frightened very much, and it could see in her eyes and in body language. And he thought, but when this messenger came, uh, and he wanted to see Dr. Sadow, and he said that uh, the chief general of Japanese army, called him because he was in pain again. Remember, and the old general, he required the Dr. Sadaw's treatment, so it was his doctor. So for that he was called. So this misunderstanding frightened Hannah, but this has another effect on Dr. Sadow, that he had decided to tell this to general. So let us see what happens there when Dr. Sadow went to the general's residence. He revealed his secret there. He told that uh, such and such man he has found on the seashore, and he has made surgery upon him. He had saved his life, and he said that okay, for that he should be punished, and he offered himself for the prosecution. Uh, but here, mm, the general, the chief general, who was completely dependent on Dr. Sadow because he was having very uh, bad health. He had already one attack, and one more attack he could stand before the surgery. What is that? That is what Dr. Sadow told him. So, at any cost, he want nothing happened to Dr. Sadow. Dr. Sadow could not be booked and arrested for this charge. This is what he has taken care. So, the general doesn't want it at all, and because the life of general is was in the hand of Dr. Sadow. So he said that Dr. Sadow said that there are other surgeons, but those all surgeons were trained in German, and the Germany, students, that Germany is known for their ruthlessness. So the surgeons trained in German are ruthless. This is what exactly General wanted to say, and said that they do not believe them, and he want the surgery to be done by Dr. Sadow only, who could be so kind that he could save the life of even an enemy. So he will definitely save the life of general. So that is why he doesn't want anything to happen with Dr. Sadow. So what did he do? He said that he would have the secret plan to kill this white man secretly, to assassinate the white man. He was having some private assassins with him, and he will send these one or two or more assassins to kill this man at night, today night, tonight, or any night coming one or 2 day. So he would send and kill that man secretly. Even Dr. Sada would not come to know it. So for that, he asked to keep the partition of that white man open at night, so that the assassins would come and would kill him secretly, and even take out the body from there, so that nobody would understand. Even Dr. Sada would not understand it. So this is what he had told Dr. Sadao to get rid of this problem, to get rid of this man. So even after that, and Dr. Sadao agreed with that. Dr. Sadao decided not to tell this to even Hannah also. So Hannah would be frightened on listening of killing this man. So it is better not to tell Hannah. This is what Dr. Sadao told. Remember, children, this is the same person, Dr. Sadao, who did not dare to hand this man over to the police in the fear that the police will kill him. Now, before the general, he agreed that he will be assassinated. This man will be assassinated by general or by general's assassins. So somehow this side is also there, that somehow being Japanese, they need to kill this man and get rid of this problem. So this is a dual fight between the two self of Dr. Sadao. At one side, sometime Dr. Sadao went to the one side where he is as a Japanese, nationalist Japanese, and at another side as a doctor, as a human being. Uh, so after that, now he thought that this general would send his assassins, and he was waiting all the night. He could not sleep that night. Not only that night, continuous 3 nights he waited for the assassins to come and kill this man. And even not only he waited for these assassins to come back, that he generally thought that as if he had heard some noise, that somebody is coming and entering and killing, and somebody is shouting, and his body is being carried away. So he imagined, imagine that the assassin is going on, and because of these thoughts that the assassins would come and kill him, the Dr. Sadow has become completely restless. He becomes fearsome. He was frightened. So throughout nights he could not sleep. So he had to lead these restless nights. So uh, so this made him so much restless. And every morning, the first thing that he used to do was checking that whether the white man was there or not. So he need to, and he used to see that man, they are very much recovering and getting more strength. So he was getting on his legs. So he was, sitting up. He was little bit walking, but he was getting that man there. And so this is how these 3 nights, sleepless nights, they gone. But the third night was a very crucial night. That night, the strong wind and the rain came, and because of the different sounds come, and here Hannah woke up. Hannah woke up, and Hannah knew that the partition is open, the door was open, and he wanted to close that door. So let me close the door by going there. But Dr. Sadow, on the sight of, on the understanding that Hannah was going there, so had it been there, the assassins. So he himself was so much frightened. He held up Hannah firmly and told not to go there, and the terror was in his eyes. He was breathless that the Hannah should not go at such scene of, where somebody is being murdered. So he stopped. Hannah could not understand that what happened to Dr. Sadow, that from 3 days, from 3 nights, he could not sleep, and he was so much terrified. So and he just, Dr. Sadow said that now this man can do himself, because he can get on his legs. Now he can walk also slowly, so he can close his door by his own. By saying that, he stopped Hannah, but the terror he was having in his eyes was terrific one. And even Hannah was also frightened very much, not because that man is there, and because she was unaware of all this plan of assassins. It was because she was frightened, because she had seen the terror in the eyes of Dr. Sadow, and he was terrified. So his terrified behavior, because of this, she was frightened. So finally, Dr. Sadow, now after this night, the the fear that they had, the frightening that they had gone through, the fear that they had gone through, so he wanted to get through it. So Dr. Sadow finally had decided to make the escape plan for the white man, and he's told that he need to go. He wanted to get rid of this man, so he made a plan and told white man that he need to go now. He need to leave his house, and it is not hidden that he is there. So what was the plan? Let us see. Dr. Sadow would arrange a boat at the seashore there, his own boat secretly, and would keep the extra food, water, and clothing there in the boat. And there is an island, distant island, not much distant, not much far, but the island is there. So he would go there. The white man had to go there on the island, and there he should wait for the Korean fishing boat. The Korean fishing boat comes there. So that is why he should stay there, and he would not be, the white man would not be seen from the island, because nobody goes there, nobody lives there on that island, because that island gets submerged in high tide, and it is the time of high tide. So the water gets its level high even, and the island is submerged by the water. So that is why at that time nobody lives there, nobody goes there, only the Korean fishing boat comes there. So um, he could be safe there. So this was his plan, and he executed it secretly. He brought all these things, the water bottles, and the food was there already there, clothing, quilts also he had brought for this man. And uh, he arranged that boat in the evening, in the twilight, without having the flashlight, the torch with him, because it was no moon day. So in the darkness only, he arranged everything, and he had given the Japanese close to this white man, so that even if from the distance somebody could see that, they would not doubt that it was a Japanese, they would think. So the Japanese clothes were given to this man. He checked, and as a doctor, see, very much alive. There was a doctor in him, very much alive. Even after leaving at the last time also, he checked his temperature, he checked his pulse, he checked his wound. So very much committed doctor. Finally, he has given him his flashlight, a torch, with much hesitation. He was not, thinking that it would be. He thought that it would be risky to give him flashlight, but he had given because some things that he had need to do with that flashlight. He asked the white man to flash twice at twilight every day when he will reach at the island. So every day, this man needed to flash uh, twice if the food runs out, not daily. Twice flash he need to give if the food is not there, food is finished, food disappeared, or he had no food to eat. The food that is extra food given to him, that is finished one. So so that is why he had gone there. Sorry. So he need to flash two times if the food is not there, and he also said that daily he need to flash once if he is there, food is there. So he had not gone. So he could understand that man is still there on the island. So daily at the time of evening when it was twilight, neither complete day nor complete night, at that time if uh, Dr. Sadow could see one flash, it means that the white man is there on the island. And if he could see the two flashes, it means that the food with the white man is finished. See how careful and how kind he was, how much considerate, how much considerate Dr. Sadow was. He is making the escape plan for the white man, and not only that, he is asking him to the island. Now he should get rid of, he should not think of anything else. But still he is thinking that what if his food runs out, if his food get finished. So how much human feelings that he had. So even he is thinking of arranging food if it finished, even after they are in island. So this much human feelings, this much kindness was consideration Dr. Sadow was having towards the fellow man. And he also suggests that he can, if the food runs out, he can eat raw fish also, because he should not use the fire to roast it, because the fire could be seen, so it would be risky. That is why he asked him to eat the raw fish. So this was the plan, and finally the man has gone. And when the man has gone, eventually the servants have returned. The room where the white man was kept, and they cleaned and washed it very carefully. So burn sulfur there as a kind of purification actually. So it as if it was polluted, the room was polluted by the presence of the white man. So they burn sulfur there. So that was a little bit racist feeling that they were having, and nobody said anything about the white man. Only the gardener was across means a little bit angry with because he was late to plant that chrysanthemums. Chrysanthemums is the flower. So this flower is cultivated, is planted in a particular season. So he missed that season because at that time he was not there in the house of Dr. Sadow. So he was angry. This is what actually the literal meaning of it. But it is not only that literal text, literal reference. It is very much symbolic because this chrysanthemums is the symbol, the national flower of Japan. So national flower of Japan uh, cannot be planted, cannot be cultivated. uh, that is why Gardner was angry. So cannot be cultivated. The nationalism of Japanese, that was prejudiced one, the racism one actually. No, prejudiced nationalism, prejudiced racism, that is not being planted, that cannot be cultivated in the house of Dr. Sadow, because Dr. Sadow was emerged as a very much human being. Humanity overcome the nationalism. This is what is being suggested through this particular reference of gardeners becoming late in the planting of chrysanthemums flowers. So after some days, the surgery of general was also done, and after 1 week of this surgery, uh, Dr. Sadow informed general that the man has escaped, but he did not ask about the assassin, that why he did not send the assassins. General himself reminded Dr. Sadow that he promised him to send the assassins, but he had forgotten. And one more thing Dr. General has done is that he has taken promise from Dr. Sadow that all these things will be kept secret. Why General need to take the promise from Dr. Sadow to keep this secret? General, of course, Dr. Sadow will keep it secret because nobody would know it and he will not be in trouble. But why General want it uh, that it should be kept secret? Even General is also involved, no? Because Dr. Sadow had already informed General that about the presence of the man in his house. So if General has not taken any action upon it, so General is also as responsible as, or as a traitor as Dr. Sadow is. So General could be also punished. So that is why to save his own skin, he has taken the promise from Dr. Sadow that this will be kept secret. And he also explained, General also explained that it is not a kind of dereliction of duty. Dereliction of duty means running away from the duty. So it is not like that, or he lacked the patriotism. It is just a kind of self-absorption, that he was very much worried about his own health, that he has forgotten. But the truth is that he was very much selfish, that he was thinking of himself. On purpose, he did not send the assassins to kill the man, because if something happens, if this assassin get caught, so the general will be revealed. So general will be considered as a traitor. So general will be at blame. So this he doesn't want. That is why neither he send assassins, and nor now he want Dr. Sadow to reveal this secret to anybody. So this was a very selfish attitude of the general. This is how our story ends, and the last part, it is when he was going from general. General promised him to give him reward, but that day when Dr. Sadow informed general, he got his reward at night, at the time of evening, at the time of twilight actually, when he could not see any flash there from the island. It means the white man has gone. He got the Korean fishing boat and he had escaped successfully. And once again, Dr. Sadow saved the life of the white man. 2 times he saved the life of white man. The first time when he made the surgery upon him, and the second time now when he allowed him to escape. He arranged the boat and allowed him to escape from Japan. And so after that, Dr. Sadow reminds all those people that he had made in America, and all those people were kind to him, to Hannah even. So, but still, that time also he was having some prejudiced feelings of dislike towards the Americans. The feeling of their being inferior and his being superior as a race. So this was the kind of prejudiced hatred towards the American. Even after this now, he returned. He is having the same feeling now, even after he helped this man and helped to escape, he saved this man. So he still feels that all Americans are inferior, disgusting, and he disliked them, and he returned to his own now the learned self of prejudiced nationalism. So this was the end of the story. We will analyze its the theme of the story and its character in the next period. So till then, we'll stop here. Thank you. Have a nice day.